Good morning, everyone. My name is Bernadette COELHO. I'm the headmaster at New Bedford High School. Really excited to have everyone here today to help us celebrate our new upgraded pool facility here at New Bedford High School. I'm pleased this morning to be joined by Mayor Mitchell, the City of New Bedford, Superintendent Durkin, City Councilor Steve Martins, Tom Tarpey, our athletic director. Also, Tim Curry is our physical education teacher in charge of pool this year. And this is such an important event that we are even joined by Jay McCarthy and Kathy Buckley, two longtime, now retired physical education teachers at New Bedford High School who were our swim instructors. So thank you for coming back to help us celebrate this. Also, we'll be seeing in action very shortly Tyler Brierly. He is a student here at New Bedford High School and the captain of our swim team, as well as Kylie Barreo, who was the state champ last year in the 100 butterfly. So thanks for being here this morning. So I'd like to begin our program by turning the podium over to Mayor Mitchell.
All right, thanks, Bernadette. I'm glad we have the speaker system, by the way, so you people way back there can hear us, hear every word we're saying. Don't want to leave anybody out. So this process started about 3 years ago when, in a visit to the high school, Mike Shea and I were buttonholed by one of the custodians, and he said, "Hey, you got to take a look at the pool." And I said, "Well, you know, neither one of us had been in this facility in a long time," so we said, "Okay." And we walked in here, and it was very steamy, and things were clearly run down. The tiles in the pool were falling off. It was in a real state of disrepair, and had been neglected for a long time. But then he said, "Well, you got to go downstairs to the pump room that runs all the systems in here." And so I don't know if any of you remember the movie The Poseidon Adventure, where the ship tips upside down and it's leaking and they're waiting for the wall of water to burst through. Well, I walked down there and he said, "This looks like the Poseidon Adventure," because everything was rusted out. It looked like it was about to fall apart. And then we were told that the wall, one of the walls, where I think we're standing more or less right above the room right here, looked like it was going to buckle and we would have been swamped. And so it had that feel. And I mentioned it to Mike and to the custodian at the time. And the custodian said, and I can't remember his name, unfortunately, but he said, "Oh yeah, there are lots of people who don't want to set foot in this room because of its condition." And so, you know, I mentioned it because it was sort of comical, but comical in that it was just the level of neglect over the years have been just so pathetic that really, I think, wait for the buzzer. Okay. It was at a point where, you know, we thought, geez, you know, how can athletes perform under these conditions, and when's all this going to fall apart and really put in jeopardy the swimming program? Because if we had that level of a disaster here, you know, people would ask, you know, where are kids going to swim? We have a great history of swimming here at the high school, and in order for our student athletes to perform at their best and be competitive and pursue the excellence that's expected of them and every other student athlete here at New Bedford High School, they have to have the facilities that allow them to perform at their best. So we went ahead, and I said to Mike at the time, "We've got to do something about this. We've got to make this happen." And as stretched as the city was financially and remains stretched, these are the kinds of things that you have to do in order to have a first-rate school, the kind of school that we want. So we got a plan together. We put it in the capital improvement plan. This isn't a set of improvements that is fundable by the Mass School Building Authority. This was entirely on the city's dime, a little over $500,000, but it's worth it. And so you can see here that what was once really sort of a soupy room that had a pool where tiles were falling apart, where, you know, the blocks were, you know, 20 or 30 years old, we have really a first-rate facility again that folks who come here can be proud of. And so the swimming program is back in business, and it's resurgent now. Both the boys and the girls teams are resurgent thanks to the great coaching staff, thanks to the work of Tom Tarpey, and now they got a facility that's going to allow them to compete at the highest level. And so, you know, for Kylie to be the state champion, this is just in time for her to improve her scores, right? She still has many years of eligibility left to do that. Now she'll be able to do that, and Tyler too, in a great facility. So I just want to thank everybody for stepping up. Ari Sky for helping us fit this in the capital improvement plan among many competing priorities. I want to thank Superintendent Durkin for helping us see this through, and Bernadette Coelho, of course. City Council, Steve Martins is here, big supporter of the capital improvement program, of which this was part. The Bedford High grad who recognizes that this facility has to be first rate in order for us to have a first rate school, because as much as we're putting work and energy and time into improving academics here, academics is only part of the high school experience, and having good extracurricular facilities will enable us to have students who want to come to New Bedford High School and want to compete here and get the full benefit of the New Bedford High School experience. So I want to thank everybody for supporting this investment. It really is a huge difference. A huge difference has been made by virtue of that investment, and there'll be kids who come through here for the next 20 years who will reap the benefits of it. So thanks everybody. Thanks Bernadette for your support along the way too.
Thank you, Mayor Mitchell. I also wanted to acknowledge the presence representing our phys ed staff, Geraldine Forts and Jean McLeod. Also, no stranger to New Bedford High School is our superintendent of schools, who makes every effort to be in the building frequently, checking on our kids, checking on their academics and the extracurricular activities that they participate in. It's my pleasure to introduce Superintendent Pia Durkin.
Thank you very much, Ms. Coelho, and thank you, Mayor Mitchell, for supporting our building an excellent school system. The big part of an excellent school system is its high school. We know New Bedford High School is the flagship of this school district. And part of that is investing in that high school in both the academics and our teaching staff, our very committed teachers and administrators, but also in the facilities. This pool represents that investment and how we want this to be the place to come, enjoy, not only for our kids in excelling in their swim records, but for our families to watch their kids and to be part of the community that is going to grow an excellent high school as part of an excellent school system. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Durkin. And to give a couple of words on behalf of the City Council, Councilor Steve Martins.
I'm kidding. I wasn't going to push the mayor into the pool.
Water wings.
It's always a pleasure to be here on behalf of the City Council, and you know, not to repeat what's said by Mayor Mitchell or our great superintendent here, you know, but the council always looks ahead when we have capital improvement projects across our city of how well we can use these monies that are put together. And it's always a pleasure to be here because, as all of you know, I've graduated in class of 2002. I've seen what this place looks like. When I attended here, when I came here for different activities for family members as well, and it needed a lot of improvements. So when you sit on the council and you actually know about the improvements and what they need because you experience it yourself, it makes it that much easier to vote on capital improvement projects such as this to move forward. As the mayor said, I know Kylie and Tyler, I had the pleasure of speaking to them back there, and Kylie was telling me about her proud state championship for the girls team that she won. And it's always impressive to see the students here and competing in what they have, you know, and they don't have as much. So to see capital improvements like this happening, I know that they'll have a great place to compete. And even though Tyler didn't get a state championship yet, he's committed and he's on his way to do that this year, especially with these great improvements here. So it's always a pleasure to be here on behalf of the City Council and help out in any way that we can. But I wanted to make sure that that was known, that when you experience things in the past and that you have to make a critical vote the way that you do, it makes it that much easier when you actually see it for yourself and how the monies are being used. And I believe, as the mayor and the superintendent said, the monies here are used very well. And if you're going to have buildings like this continue, and they're very old, you have to keep up with it. And I think this was the right move moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Martins. I think it's important to note, too, that many of the student athletes here at New Bedford High School are also top scholars. And we are proud to say that we have a nearly 100% passing rate in academics for all of our students who participate in sports. Leading the charge for much of that work is our athletic director, Mr. Tom Tarpey.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. This project was done in phases. The first phase was emptying the pool and getting all the tiles. We had to pinpoint, we had to, well, not we, but the company that came in and did it. So that was done. All the filtration system underneath the pool, like the mayor said, it was a mess down there, and it looks like so modern right now. So it was done in phases. All the gutters were done over. These starting blocks that you see behind me are blocks that a lot of colleges don't have, and we were fortunate enough to get that covered by the grant. The scoreboard we have right now is top of the line. We have touch pads that go in the pool during a swim meet that once the swimmers touch, it goes electronically right to the scoreboard. So it was done in phases. There was a lot of cooperation with our phys ed people because the students couldn't swim for about 3 months in here during the day, and our swim team couldn't swim here last year either. So UMass Dartmouth was very nice to let us use their pool. So it was a total team effort. And the kids of New Bedford deserve something like this. And in building a great school system, they deserve it, and they have it now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Tarpey. And also, one of the things that many in the community may not realize about New Bedford High School, besides its top-notch academic program and athletic program, we are a Division I athletic program, is that students who graduate from this high school can graduate with different certifications. In child care, NAF certifications as we build our NAF academies, EMT certification, and now because of the enhancements to this pool, through our Mr. Curry, our swim teacher here and our swim coach, we are going to now be able to pursue lifeguarding certification. So we're really excited to make that announcement today as well. So Mayor, Superintendent, short of an official ribbon, we thought maybe we would officially open the pool with our two student athletes, Tyler and Kaylee.